Okay, welcome to this session on Health and Wellness Symposium for this year. I'm Dr. Saravanan from Naturopathic Therapies Clinic and Andrew and Parker's Private Limited Wellness Consortium. I'm a holistic practitioner, as Vijay Lakshmi shared just now, and I'm just quickly going to share my screen so that you could see what I have been to show you. Okay, good. And I welcome all the speakers. It's an honor. And I would like to thank all my team, Vijay Lakshmi, Dr. Ram, and Dr. Tain, who had been very supportive for the fulfillment of this event. And they have been such a pillar, and especially Dr. Ram, who was instrumental for me to kickstart this event this year. And through him, I got to know all the eminent speakers. So it's going to be a wonderful experience. I'm looking forward to hear from all of you. Well, my topic today is about integration of wellness to community and to achieve health empowerment. One of the things that we are thinking and wanting to achieve is about universal healthcare, healthcare to be affordable, and we want to bring in a loving healthcare where physicians and healthcare workers become healers. Yeah, comprehensive healthcare to body, mind, and spirit, and preventative healthcare through education, nutrition, and a whole host of other things. Now, the allopathic and Western system has it's already evolving, and it is becoming a very supported system. However, the holistic environment is lagging, and we feel that there's a lot of things can be done. So we are looking at from ideal care to ideal care. Yeah, transforming a commercial health industry into an ideal healthcare management. An ideal healthcare is a way of practicing healthcare that radically changes our view of healthcare delivery and management. See, the Western medicine or the allopathic medicine, which is also known as, has transformed, and I will leave it to your own understanding as to how it is evolved. The amazing sacrifices that are being made in this pandemic season. At the same time, there's also like a rollout carpet of interventions that being used, which is beneficial and may not be beneficial as well. But I leave it to your judgment on that. I'm interested in using holistic wellness holistically. Yeah. So we want to embrace using holistic medicine for holistic complete care. So the health cycles that we want to empower, actually what we are aspiring to do is to empower humanity in the following verticals that we're thinking of: financial, physical, spiritual, environmental care, emotional, intellectual, occupational, and social. They are multi-pronged approach, and sometimes you work on one area, it has got a domino effect on the others as well. So these verticals were initiated by Andrews and Parker's. It's a wellness consortium that are focused on. And so, what is Andrew and Parker's wellness consortium? It is headquartered in Singapore. It's going to operate on a membership model to approach country and city. We want to create city chapters in Southeast Asia and Central Asia, connecting various health SMEs, creating sustainable business collaborations, and improving lives with wellness. So, with a spark of values, we are going to put out to the region a unique model for collaboration. The values that we want to look at is basically physical, nutritional, emotional, social, spiritual, intellectual, financial, and environmental. A lot of work is being done on the environmental field. Some work is being done, or quite a lot of work can be done in financial field, but empowering the poor or the middle class with financial knowledge and wisdom is something that requires a lot of attention and support. Intellectual, bringing in holistic information, right, to the general public in a simple way that they can be understood and applied and appreciated. spiritual values, restoring the ancient values that has been restored, yeah, socially connecting with people, emotional support, and more. So our phase one is basically to integrate a membership model. So we can have people from Singapore who's an SME. Why I say small, medium enterprises? Many of our practitioners are one-man shows, or they are a small number of practitioners. But what we would like to do is to bring all these people together, because if they're running a business and they are helping people from their own centers, their clinics, interesting things are developing. They are always acquiring knowledge, and they are very unique and powerful practitioners. If they are sustaining for this long, even in a COVID environment, that means they are really good and they're doing something good. So using this wisdom, a pool of wisdom, knowledge, and experience, we bring in from people who are already operating in a small medium enterprise in Singapore, Brunei, Indonesia, Australia, India, or in Malaysia. We can create a collaboration which is going to become a very dynamic force. So the SMEs are collaborating regionally. What is the incentive that will inspire people to join? Okay, to become part of this project, and basically it is to decrease costs and increase revenue. Okay, so we are not going to think about charging exorbitantly, but we are looking at models where we could actually share knowledge and technology. So everybody has some kind of technology that they're using, and it may not be available for many to know and apply. So practitioners could bring in that information and introduce metaverse and multiverse integration. Your WhatsApp, your Facebook has all gone into metaverse. And so using that technology, artificial intelligence, to educate, to support, and to restore balance in this world, in the virtual world, to bring it into the real world as well. Yeah, so that is the multiverse. And training and education, sales and marketing, joint projects, regional customers and business partners, e-commerce, and joint procurement. Right? As an individual, when you buy products and services, you're going to pay a certain price. But as a group, if you are in a particular area, or group of practitioners are joining together to buy similar products and services, they can actually reduce the price significantly, so decreasing costs, because there's a larger volume that can be supplied to, and benefit from it as well. So operating costs could be lesser, procurement costs will become lesser. And the e-commerce platform is basically to create an avenue where members could actually seamlessly provide their services and products, where practitioners could buy, and consumers could get them, patients could get their supplements online. And this is going to be a very collaborative and open source of system that will be supporting everyone. Yeah. Okay. So phase two, where we want to create and probably recruit students, excite students about the holistic industry. We learn from and get internships, and SMEs could actually collaborate. Yeah, they could collaborate, and they could help with startups, and we could create jobs. Yeah. In phase three, we are looking at about aspiring entrepreneurs. There are practitioners who would be interested to set up a practice, and they want to go out there, reach out, and help people. So we could create an environment for them to learn and get interns from SMEs or startups, and then they could get all the support, financial support, material support, and in a small way they could start their own business and a healthcare practice, and start reaching out to people. Right. In phase four, we are looking at now collaborating with many businesses regionally. So when members come on board, practitioners come on board, and they become members, we would also want to be in a space where these businesses can collaborate. Right. So if I'm not present in Indonesia, but I have a client from Indonesia, and I have a buddy system with a practitioner who is aligned with what I'm doing. I could actually um, um, refer this client to go and see this person and get all the help that he needs to get. So in that way, through the collaborative model, businesses can grow fast. There can be cross referrals, and sometimes some of my clients could go on a retreat in, say, in Bali, and participate through a facility that is already available in a holistic environment, and they could reach out to and get supported. And then the phase 5 is to get accredited, right? Many of us are much as we are practitioners, we can help them to develop some of their unique skills as courses which can be learned, and these courses can actually be accredited by professional institutes, right? So we want to collaborate with universities, institute of higher educations, and be in a space to provide degrees, diplomas, and also a variety of support. Yeah. So there's going to be SME university, collaboration for trainings, SMEs and startups projects collaboration, and also training startups with students and entrepreneurs. They're doing a lot of research and development training, and this research and development can also be related to the universities. And so we want to create, in this model, we want to operate in a sphere where we share, we trust each other, we assist and support one another to grow, develop, to exchange, to inspire people and practitioners, and eventually attaining success. So that is the collaboration model that we are looking at. Currently, the management team is now is myself, the founder of this organization, Saravanan, and then Mr. Raj, who's one of my mentor. He's a very network person. Dr. Ram, who has got extensive research and development, and Mr. Bhaskaran, who is a legal person who has got some amazing experience in this industry in civil and commercial law. Yeah. So with this, I would be reaching out to the speakers, practitioners, and friends through my networks, and I will be also be looking for opportunities to collaborate, and I hope, I trust you will be in a space to come forward to be in collaboration and support us as well. Okay, so this is what I wanted to share in this symposium. And before we get on to hear from our eminent speakers, I return you to Miss Vijayalakshmi. Yeah, Miss Vijayalakshmi.
Yes, Doctor. Thank you, Dr. Saravanan, for the wonderful speech. You have given us a very informative and knowledgeable speech. Thank you once again for that. Now the floor is open for questions and answers for 5 minutes. So anyone who wants to ask questions?
I would like to take an opportunity, Dr. Saravanan.
Yes, sir.
The concept which you explained about SAB is indeed very, very beautiful. And I've seen my personal experience for more than 15 years in the field of holistic model of health. So basically, I'm an academician, but I have the equal say as far as the holistic model. We actually founded some organization in the 2010. We collaborated with almost all the leading organization in India. Then we set up, the connection with outside. Now your model, because we had been working for the non-commercial kind of a mode. So our main purpose was to promote holistic model of health. But the commercial aspect which you have given, I fully appreciate and endorse. And I would like to have the details by email. And I would definitely like to associate whatever my personal capacity or organization capacity, I would like to join. Thank you, Dr. Saul, for enlightening us.
Yes, thank you, Doctor. I really appreciate your support. We will be reaching out to you soon, And yes, and we are not the only organization which is doing this. There are others, and we can all leverage with each other. And in that process, we prosper and we grow, all of them, and we support one another. Thank you. Right. Any other questions if you like to ask, and I'll be happy to.
Any more questions from the audience? If not, shall we move to the second speaker?
Yes, we should invite Dr. Susan Williams. Yeah, please.
Okay. I'll move on to the second speaker. She's a rose among the thorns for today's event. Yes, I'm proud to invite Dr. Susan Williams, our next speaker. A few words about Dr. Susan Williams. She is the senior gynecologist in William Hospital, Nagarkoil in India, a clinical director also. And today, Dr. Susan Williams will be addressing us on an interesting topic for all, the wellness trends in women. So over to you, Dr. Susan Williams. Dr. Susan Williams, yeah. Over to you, please. We can't hear you, Doctor.
Okay, probably Dr. Susan Williams, you need to unmute yourself. You could have off your mic and also connect through the Wi-Fi network. Okay, as we give some time for Dr. Susan Williams to connect. Okay. Looks like you are connected now. Can you start speaking? Increase your volume. Yeah. Well, sometimes technical glitch like this do happen. I hope she could resolve this because it's an interesting and important topic that she's going to talk today, and about women's wellness and the trend that is that being experienced now. Okay, did we lose her? Okay. Could we while she sorts out the okay, while she sorts out this technical issue, maybe we could invite the next speaker, Mr. Ram Kumar Sethupathi, and after that, Dr. Susan can present her session. Would that be okay with everyone? Vijayalakshmi?
Yeah. Let's move on. We move on to the third speaker, Dr. Surendra Das. Dr. Surendra Das holds an MD and PhD in alternative medicine. He is also an educationalist in chronic psychologist, wellness guide, and holistic development coach. He is also an author and a poet. His latest book, titled Key to Real Wellness, is available on Amazon. The topic of his talk will be attitude and health. So let us welcome Dr. Surendra Das. Dr. Surendra Das, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Very good evening to one and all the esteemed speakers, Dr. Ramanadan ji, Dr. Saravanan ji, and other speakers, and those who are attending this particular program. To begin with, of course, I will be taking the help of the PowerPoint presentation, but what exactly is the topic is the attitude and health. Now, it is a well-known fact that 90% of our diseases have got the psychological roots. They originate from our mind. You take up any kind of a chronic disease, we will find that this has got some connectivity with some kind of emotions. Here, my main focus is on attitude and health. I would like to take the permission to share the screen. Ms. Vijayalakshmi, would you please connect?
Make him as a co-host, please.
I want to share my screen.
Yes, doctor, you can share now. You are co-host and
All right,
you will
all
be able
right.
to share.
Something is appearing here. What is that? Okay, fine. I would like to make a mention about one of the scientific study which was done in the year 1990, in which 1700 patients were taken as a, it was a very large kind of a sample if we talk in terms of that. And main thing was that how many of these 1700 patients had some adverse childhood experience, whether it was kind of a child abuse or it was kind of a dysfunctional family behavior or something of that kind. If 50% of these 1700 people had some or the other kind of adverse childhood experience. What was the most surprising thing, that those who had some kind of childhood adverse experience, they had the probability or the chances between 4 to 50 times to have an adverse health condition when they grew up. The health outcome indicated that these people, when they grew up, they suffered either from stress fracture, diabetes, obesity, alcoholism, and some other kind of a disease. What is the most important thing here is that traumatic emotional experience convert into organic disease later in life. That is the main point over here. That whatever the traumatic emotional experience we have in our childhood, when we grow up, they definitely convert into some kind of a physical disease. Now, what is ultimate truth here? It is not that it is related to the past, but it is also applicable to the present. That all our emotional experience, whether positive or negative, they really impact our mind, our physiology, our health. So it is not only applicable with the negative kind of experience, but also the positive kind of experience, and both have got positive and negative impact. Now here I would like to make mention about the emotional contagion. Most of the working environment in a company, in a firm, in an educational institution, and the domestic environment is mainly dependent upon the emotional contagion. What is the mindset of the people working in a company and the kind of a people? If there is a happy environment and people are having a positive mindset, definitely they will be radiating positive vibrations. And then we will find that the moment we come in contact with this kind of a people, this kind of a group of people, the companies and the firms, I think there is an indirect silent reciprocation. So emotional contagion means the transfer of emotions from one person to another, from one group to the another. And that is playing a very significant role as far as the health of the majority of the people, the mass I'm talking about, the large number of people is concerned, that what kind of emotions is directly and indirectly shared. This is a well-known fact that if 5 people are sitting and a happy person comes, he started smiling, and everybody started smiling. This is emotional contagion. And it happens the opposite way. If a person has a negative mindset, he is irritated, excited, and then what kind of energy he will radiate? The same kind of a thing. A good environment will convert into a tense environment. So that also has an impact that what kind of environment we live in and what kind of environment we create for our fellow beings in the society, in the family. Now here I would like to draw the kind attention on a very, very popular book. I happen to have a direct connection with the cat expert. She is no more right now, a neuroscientist from US. She has written a book, Molecules of Emotion. One of the wonderful book and eye-opener in the field of holistic model of health. She was also associated with Dr. Deepak Chopra in the later part of her career. Now, what exactly is here? I like to draw the attention and throw light about it, because what is the molecule of emotions? Something I have to talk about the peptides. Actually, they are the minuscule pieces of the protein, and ultimately they are made of the amino acids. Now, the peptides have got much relationship as far as our emotions are concerned, positive or negative. So I'm going to give more focus on this thing. So here is just a mild description here that it is strings of amino acids. If it is 100, 10 to 100, this is called peptides. And if it is 100 to 200, it is polypeptides. If it is more than 200, then they become protein. Now, there are 65 neuropeptide families associated with mood changes, nerves, hormones, and immune system. Well-known neuropeptides are actually connected with neurotransmitter. Now, there is one very things I would like to, what is the actual difference between neuropeptides, the peptides and the neurotransmitter? One is a larger big molecules, another is a small molecule. They are more active, the peptides, and they are less active. Now, ultimately, when we talk in terms of having a good health, these peptides are functioning as the informational substances. That is the main point to focus here. Now, everybody knows, those who are in the field of medical science, whether holistic or it is the orthodox medicine or modern medicine, that our common peptides include endorphins, which is happy hormone, insulin, which is responsible for controlling the blood sugar, vasopressin, which is responsible for the blood pressure, serotonin, the feel-good factor. I've just mentioned 4 or 5. Now, What exactly is my focus here? That each person has personal vibration, and each vibration has a wavelength. When we think of something, we radiate an energy field. Thinking and feeling produce a thought entity and psychic radiatory field. In the holistic model of health, the actual focus, the entire focus of the key focus area is what kind of thoughts we have, what kind of emotions we have, because they are directly governing our health. Our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions are responsible for our health, or if there are diseases, that is also. Now, how it exactly works? I'll mention here that in 1942, one scientist, D. Lavoie from England, he actually devoted much of time. He discovered that thought and some psychological condition such as anxiety, fear, and hate correspond to some typical frequencies. The matter did not end up here. He prepared a box to detect these vibrations, and you will be surprised to know that more than 1,000 frequencies he could identify through a particular box which he had actually invented. Now, how the mechanism work? The negative thoughts and feelings which have some typical frequencies create an energetic imbalance at the cellular level. Now, you know, if I'm a healthy person or you are a healthy person, our cells, they are oscillating, and there is a particular frequency. They are emitting radiation. I'm talking about the healthy cells. Now, what is actually happening when there is a hatred, when there is anger, when there is a lust, when there is a greed, when there is a frustration, all negative kind of feelings and emotions, their frequencies, I'm talking about the frequencies of the negative thoughts and emotions, will directly impact at the cellular level, and the frequency of the healthy cells at which they oscillate, there will be a disturbance, there will be a disorder. So what is the ultimate output? They cause an oscillating imbalance, and which result in some kind of physical disorder and disease. This is one of the best interpretation when we talk in terms of holistic model, how the disease occurs and how our negative thoughts. So our positive thoughts and our negative thoughts have direct connection with our health. A beautiful definition I would like to give what is a disease. The disease, therefore, is a bioelectronic imbalance, and that affects the biochemical regime. Disease is a bioelectronic imbalance. Now, as I mentioned about the something about the peptides, the neuropeptides have a similar molecular structure with subtle difference in the frequency and amplitude. So what is happening when we are always obsessed with negative thoughts, negative feel, hatred and jealousy and anger, and this become a kind of a mindset. See, once we get angry is a different thing. Once we become dissatisfied is a different thing. Once we become frustrated is a different thing. But then when it takes a form, it is stabilized, then the neuropeptides change configuration due to emotional influence according to our negative thoughts. Depending on thought and emotions, specific neuropeptides which are made in brain, in nervous system, the white blood cells, reproductive system, digestive system, almost the entire body we talked about. The configuration of these neuropeptides changing. What is ultimately the result? Whenever we feel anger, hatred, jealousy, lust, greed and rage, hormones are increased or decreased automatically. The quantity I'm talking about. Either it is increasing or on both way it is very, very harmful, because there is a right proportion should be there. So as a result of which our immunity is compromised, and the immunity system of our body become weak and we fall sick. So this is how there is our attitude our positive thoughts, our positive emotions are directly connected with our health. Now here, one of the person I like to make a mention, George Solomon, and he is no more now. In 2000, I'm talking about 2000. He actually professor of psychiatry, who is known as father of psychoneuroimmunology. I repeat the word psychoneuroimmunology. What he demonstrated that negative thoughts and feelings increase IgE, that is immunoglobulin in the blood, and which precipitate in the form of allergy. So he did not only give a scientific interpretation, but he did the research work. Lot of patients he came into his contact, and then he gave this finding to the medical world. So one thing is very clear, that negative emotions are directly connected with the disease. So what plays an important role? What is the primary thing to become healthy? That we have to check our own self. Let us mind our thoughts, let mind our feelings, let mind our emotions, and moreover the attitude. You will hardly find, if you take a real survey, that those who are really positive people, they will have the least number of diseases, least number, or they may not have any kind of a disease. Now I'll just quickly go through that. What is the connectivity of the negative emotions and the disease? Illness caused by fear, so sciatic pain, appendicitis, bladder problem, frigidity, all these kinds of problem are caused by the fear, which are deep rooted. Anger is causing liver problem, arthritis, bad breath, jaw problems, boils, and rheumatism. And when we talk about the suppressed feelings, we are bound to have the kidney problems. I've seen it where the marital problem is there, marital relationship is not good. Either the wife or the husband is bound to develop kidney problems. The constipations, the piles, diabetes, asthma. Asthma is definitely clearly indicate that something is being suppressed here. Bronchitis, sore throat, and tonsillitis. And then the tension is causing tuberculosis, high blood pressure, eczema, cramp, cold, influenza, and headache. So I have taken up here the 4 groups of disease which are directly connected to our mental feelings, emotions, thoughts. Now here, not taking much of the time, I'll just like to conclude with one of the real life evidence. In the year 2000, Mr. Anup Kumar, he was a chief executive in one of a very reputed company. He was living a life which was very busy, very hectic, and he was hardly able to spare some time for the family. Most of the time he was focusing on his career, and therefore he was living a stressful life. So in the year 2001, he was diagnosed with the 3rd stage of lung cancer. 3rd stage of lung cancer. And the doctors had given him a time that you have got hardly 4 to 5 months. They say 3 months actually, but then they maximum it will be 4 to 5 months. So now it is up to you how you deal with your own life, whether you go for chemotherapy or you go for some other kind of a thing or any treatment. Anup Kumar, you can imagine that he could not sleep for a week. And after a week, he decided that he will fight against his own cancer. He changed his lifestyle. He started wearing very ordinary clothes. He learned meditation, he learned Reiki, he started visiting the river, the forest, listening to the music, and everything he changed. His mindset, his feelings, emotion. You will be surprised to know that just by changing his lifestyle, his thoughts, his feeling, and more important, his attitude towards life, he started talking to himself, to his own self, that these cancerous cells belong to me. How you can go harm me? How can you destroy me? You're a part of my body. And then the communication started. His food became his medicine. His meditation became his medicine. So his change is the mindset, and more importantly, the attitude, he could fight against the cancer and he could win over. And he wrote a book, Joy of Cancer. It is available. Joy of Cancer, written by Anup Kumar. Just because of the positive attitude, he could defeat the cancer. And then he is still living. He's still alive. So this is what I just wanted to say, that we have to give more important part of our life. The key focus area is our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions. Once we have learned to become positive and we started living in a positive way, we started thinking in a positive way, our emotions are positive, we're kind, loving, we have empathy, all these kind of a human values which comes from our cultures and different cultures. I think we will be able to lead a wonderful, happy, healthy life. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Surendra Das, for explaining the systematic connection between our attitude and our body. I think this topic does really educate everyone in our society. Okay, now the floor is open for questions.
I would like to probably place a comment because all disease begins with a conflict shock that affects the psyche, brain, and organ. This is something, it's an amazing information that is shared by doctor, and it is something that I observe in my practice as well. We had every time someone presents with a strange disease that has not been that cannot be attended in medical care or is too complex or given up, I have come across people such, and we work on their emotions and we see amazing transformation taking place, and they become empowered and they heal very quickly. This is amazing, and I really appreciate your sharing, doctor. And anybody else who has got a question, please share, ask, and or any thoughts if you'd like to share.
Yes, good evening all. It's a really great insights and the analysis pattern. Actually, we have the capacity of repairing, regeneration, rejuvenation, all these senses. But sometimes the root cause for creating the deformities or a disease status, we could not able to avoid it. So it is the way we have to learn and explore with the empowerment strategy as per your statement, the holistic way of approach. Because it is not only by the problem personally in their physical or physiological, psychological status, but also the emotional engagements with the society, with the employment conditions, or any relationship, as you correctly pointed out, between the family members or any other relationships in the workplaces. All these things are inducing the kind of deformities to when they are getting deviated from the normal balancing life. So now the culture, because of the workaholic nature and very rushy environment, the people may not take care the enough time for carrying themselves or something sharing their feelings with the surrounding. The solidarity nature of living in the house as well as working places are getting these kind of very sorrowful results. So we must need to embrace the kind of culture which are going to make the people more enjoyable, as well as supporting element for the fellow people in the surrounding. Thank you, Dr. Surendra Das, for pointing that.
Thank you.
So we can able to bring it in a way. How do we able to hand together for making the transformation through our envisioning talk series as well as the guidance or coaching sessions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you once again. Thank you, doctor, for the good talk. I would like to invite Dr. Susan Williams again to give a speech.
May I have a question?
Yes, please.
Yes, you can. Shallow.
Yeah, Yeah, good afternoon. In fact, really very insights have been given by Dr. Das. In fact, I have a question to ask. Like we come across a lot of skin disease in the human beings. Can we relate with some of the actions or some of the reasons of it, and what is the what can be the real recourse or solving we can do with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
naturopathy or homeopathy?
I think Dr. Saravanan will be in the right position to give, but I just like to add here
Yeah,
that our skins actually are the expression of our emotions. You must have heard in the general terms, we say that he's a very hard skinned person and soft skinned persons.
yeah,
Those people who are very sensitive, please go and check up the texture of your skin. You will find that their skin is very, very soft. So sensitivity and the skin have got a direct connection. And those who are thick skinned people, you will find it, they are, I don't mean so that they are insensitive people or indifferent people, but comparatively to the cell. So the skin speaks a lot. If there is eczema, for example, if there is a venereal disease are there or some kind of things are there, they are somewhere connected with, as I say, our psyche, our mindset, our negativity. So the best way in the holistic model of health that we've tried to find out, homeopathy has got a very good answer about that. They go to the root cause,
yeah,
find it out what exactly, which emotion is working, which is whether sometimes it may happen that there may be a guilt conscious. The guilt conscious may be there. Most of the cases it has been found that the guilt conscious has caused some kind of a skin disease. If it's not actually a snake bite or some other kind of allergic reactions we talk about, that is also connected with some of the negative emotions. I will request Dr. Saravanan to kindly throw light.
yeah,
Thank you, doctor. And just to add to that,
yeah,
one thing that we have also observed with skin challenges is it's got to do with shame. A specific feeling where they have been shamed or they feel this sense of shame in them, and but then for a variety of reason they have not able to untangle this feeling or correct this and empower themselves, so they hide within themselves, but it starts to show. They form a barrier around them, but this barrier starts to form on their skin and it starts to project as various contact dermatitis or eczema or psoriasis, or and usually it is very a stress related issue. It has got to be dealt with, like what Dr. Surendra has said, that you need to deal with the underlying emotions, and we do it through a specific psychotherapy exercise called the systemic family constellations, and or communicating with disease in through hypnosis, and you find some amazing information that are surfacing. You address it, and the next thing they start to heal. Of course, you need to support them with nutrients and food modification. They will be helped significantly. Yes, thank you, thank you. Good question, interesting question.
Yeah, I just like to introduce Miss Kritilata Ram. She is from Mauritius. Actually, I invited her to join this. She is our executive committee member of Global Wellness Forum. She is from Mauritius.
great.
Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you from Mauritius, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Your expose was very enlightening and insightful. And I believe, and it's true that our natural emotions, it affects our body, and also there is the repercussion of illness. Yeah, and if you see anger, fear, etc., even in children where I am working in school, I agree that these emotions, they affect the health and wellness of people. Thank you, Doctor, for your expose. Thank you for this organization. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. We can have more questions later as we come to the end of the session. let's have Dr. Susan Williams. I'm ready to hear from her. Dr. Susan.
Good morning. Good evening, everyone.
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, all.
Good evening, doctor.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So far we have
Do you want to share slides or?
yes, sir. I want to share slides.
Yeah,
Okay, we have made
make
you
her as a
co-host.
co-host. Yeah. Maybe the same to Ram Kumar and myself.
Yes.
Myself already and the co-host.
So, Doctor, you are co-host now. You can share screen.
But I'm not able to go to my desktop.
You click the share screen and see the window. When you open up the PowerPoint, you can see that and you can click.
Open the PowerPoint. Yes. Now it's it. Sir, is it visible?
Yes, yes, we can.
Okay.
You want to go full screen mode, you can click the full screen. The lower bottom, the couplet kind of.
Yes, sir. So,
Yes.
very good evening, all of you. I'm so happy to share a few words about wellness trends in women's health. So already, thank you for the nice introduction. So I am from Kanyakumari, that is in South India, the southernmost tip of India. So already we have heard the speeches of two eminent speakers. So nice to meet up with you all. So I bring greetings from Kanyakumari, the place where two seas meet an ocean. So the overview of today's lecture will be the health concerns in women, a word about gynecology and wellness, safe sex, and take-home messages. So what are the health concerns in women? So as we all know, we have the scientific evidence behind the health concerns of women, the topic which I am going to speak upon as a gynecologist. So why we are concerned? Men and women have equal and special considerations in their health and welfare. But the life expectancy of a person can be definitely increased when they take care of their health in a prospective and a positive way. So that is the most important thing that lies behind the word why. So what is the primary concern of a woman? So the main concern of a woman is to conceive and bear the offspring, and the reproductive tract of the woman is designed in such a way. So when should start? Not only that, the concerns of women start from the adolescent group. So what is the adolescent group? It starts from 10 years to 19 years, where as a gynecologist, we see women in that phase. Then it comes to the reproductive age group, the perimenopausal group, and the menopausal group. So in every word, in every moment, it is the woman who should take charge of their health. Not only at old age, not only in the middle age, starting right from the adolescence, where as a gynecologist, we meet a female as a person. So when they have a family history of certain diseases, it should be taken care even from the beginning, that is at the stage of adolescence. And then self-motivation should be done at every moment, that is starting from adolescence to menopause. So we have already a lot of lectures in this nice symposium where we are given ideas for motivation and self-care and thought and emotional and attitude and work-life balance, etc. So all these things put together as a multidisciplinary approach will give a right road to the gynecological health of the woman. So what is gynecology? Gynecology means gynek, that is women, and logy means knowledge. So when we have a good knowledge of the health concerns of the woman, the wellness automatically is achieved. So I have already told you about the 4 groups of women which we are going to discuss now. That is the adolescent group to the menopausal group. So let's see what are the problems that are faced. So before going to that, we can have an overview of the female reproductive tract. That is the uterus with the 2 ovaries and the fallopian tubes, the vagina. The correspondingly, the picture is given. You can see that. So the magnified picture is given for reference. So coming to the adolescents. So adolescents are individuals who are facing a premenarchal age group, that is right from 10 years. Usually the menarche occurs around 13 years. 10 to 17 years will be the age group. And common problem can be dysmenorrhea, that is pain during menstruation, and they should be given ideas about the menstrual hygiene, that is how to take care of them during the menstrual period and how to keep them safe and healthy and prevent infections. And anemia, that is the hemoglobin level below 10 gram or 12 gram. The WHO states that hemoglobin below 12 gram is considered anemia for women. So anemia is one of the common things that is faced by an adolescent girl, and polycystic ovarian syndrome or polycystic ovarian disease. This is one of the global problems that is faced by women all over the world now. The incidence or prevalence would be around 20 to 30%. And obesity and increased intake of junk foods may contribute a lot to development of PCOS, and also there can be a genetic background also. So coming to the pictorial demonstration, so we have the uterus with the polycystic ovaries. So these ovaries do not produce a single ovum egg every time during the menstrual cycle. They develop lot of small ovum or egg, and they prevent the growth of a single egg in each cycle. So that causes a lot of hormonal disturbances or hormonal imbalance everywhere in the reproductive system and also in the woman's entire body, and it causes some cosmetic problems also. So fibroids is one of the other problem, that is a swelling in the uterus that causes so many problems and disturbances in the woman's life. So as we have already seen anemia, so you can see how the nail is pale nails, the tongue, glossy tongue, and may have palpitation, headache, tiredness, fatigue, etc., shortness of breath. So the pale appearance shows anemia. So as I have already told, PCOS is a challenging problem in adolescent as well as the reproductive age group. So there are development self-help groups and clinics which help a lot in management of PCOS, because we have different types of PCOS. It can be a lean PCO or obese PCO. So all these things should be dealt in a customized way and the treatment should be given. So next is the reproductive age group. Reproductive age group, the concerns or the pre-pregnancy planning. So in case of genetic diseases or congenital anomalies for the baby in the family, or any familial diseases, that is hereditary diseases, which can cause infertility or abortions or growth related abnormalities in the fetus, they have to be taken care pre-conceptionally, and they should be given folic acid 5 milligram pre-conceptionally for 3 months. And also they should be counseled, and certain tests have to be taken prior to pregnancy planning, and they have to be guided in the way to manage the problems before they occur. And rubella vaccination is a must when they are planning for pregnancy. And contraception is another thing. Whenever we plan for pregnancy and during the ongoing pregnancy, during the antenatal checkups, it is the duty of a gynecologist and obstetrician to counsel her well ahead to plan for her next child at least 3 years later, and the suggestion of contraception, temporary methods or permanent methods should be given in a right way. And preconceptional folic acid, I have already told, and PCOS we have already discussed, and infertility can be due to fibroids or PCOS, ovarian cyst, endometriosis, and so many other causes. So I have given some of the major causes, and if we treat her or if we counsel her regarding the possible problems that can occur during this age and the possible events that can happen in a right way, she can very well dance like the girl who is in the picture given. So when you don't take a proper advice or you don't plan for prevention, these are the outcomes that can occur. The women may be anemic during pregnancy, which can land up in a low birth weight baby. The baby can have a delayed growth, and the lung or heart problems can occur. And finally, it may lead to organ dysfunction later in after delivery or during the last trimester of pregnancy. So coming to the perimenopausal age group. So from 20 to 35 years, we have the reproductive age group, and then we have the perimenopausal age group. So up to 52 years, menopause, that is cessation of menses, can occur. So that is called menopause. So cessation of menses after 1 year of stoppage of menses, that is, we call it as menopause. So perimenopausal age group occurs between 35 to 48 or 50, 52. So in that age group, there can be menstrual irregularity. That is the one of the common problems every woman faces in her livelihood. So hot flushes is another problem, and contraception may be the need of the hour, and cancer of the genital tract, breast cancer, uterine cancer, that is cervical cancer. So all these things can occur during this age group. So proper counseling regarding the events that can occur, the problems that can occur, and the diseases that can occur should be the idea of management and counseling in women in these age groups. So when you suspect cancer in this age group, it is mandatory to start screening her for cancer service, which is easily done by a pap smear. So if the pap smear is normal, that is the test taken in the mouth of the cervix, that is uterus, that is the cervix. So next we have the uterine cancer, where it reflects with excessive bleeding PV or any menstrual irregularity. So a consultation or advice from a gynecologist may help her to prevent majority of the problems, or else even if she lands in a problem, it is better to get a easier and better solution if the problem is identified earlier due to the advancements in scientific treatments and the availability. So next we go to the menopause. So menopause, self breast examination is one of the important things, and pap smears I have already told you, and hot flushes can occur along with the bone density drops due to the cessation of menses and estrogen deficiency. So fractures can occur, and cancer of the genital tract or breast cancer can occur. So these are the problems faced by women during this age group. So we should prepare these women to face the menopausal changes in the right way. Help her to live an enjoyable and a pleasant life even after menopause. And that is the duty of the gynecologist as well as the fellow human being who are around her to help her. So empty nest syndrome is one where the old age women or men, they as a family, they are left over by the kids who are away from them. They feel their loneliness and they get depressed many a times. So that we call it as the emptiness syndrome. To prevent this, we should make them mobile and we should make them fit at the age of 50 or 60. And that is the idea of promoting the menopausal clinics in every hospital and help them to have a life in par with the reproductive age group of or the adolescent women. So health consciousness should be motivated even starting from adolescence to prevent the complications at the time of menopause. So as you can see, this should not be the scenario and this should be the scenario. So coming to the topic proper, wellness trends. So as you have seen in the wheel, there are so many aspects of wellness in women. So as a gynecologist, I have taken two aspects, that is the physical and emotional part, and we have so many other spokes of the wheel which will be dealt by so many other eminent speakers which we have in our symposium. So what is wellness? So wellness is harmony of the body and mind. So already we have heard and listened to so many important speeches which have given ideas to get harmony of the mind and the body. A balanced nutrition diet is one which we all know, that is carbohydrates, fats and proteins in a proper proportion. And physical fitness is the key for everything. So starting from the age of adolescence, we have to counsel them regarding the proper usage of exercises and physical activity and inculcate proper fitness and physical activity into one's life. And lifestyle and stress management. Lifestyle management is mainly the way we take life, and we have to admit that we don't give importance to our lifestyle and always we get stressed for whatever happens. So it is mandatory on our part to take care of the stress that is around us. It is obvious that all women during the entire lifetime may be a daughter or a mother or a grandmother. In all the phases of life, the women undergoes so much of fear and stress which is going on all around. So it is not in our mindset to stay happy. As a gynecologist, as a wellness woman, we have to inculcate them and counsel them and give proper training to manage the stress that is happening around them. Maybe it's a domestic problem or a physical problem or a mental problem or any kind of emotional trauma or the woman may undergo. We have to help her to get out of it and give her a proper and healthy life, an enjoyable life to live. So what all the things she can eat? So variety of fresh fruits, whole grains, beans, fresh greens, berries, olive oil, carrots, green tea, organic foods, etc. So the foods to be avoided are the added sugars, saturated fats, alcohol in excess, caffeine, nicotine, and preserved foods, deeply fried foods, and untimed foods should be avoided. Light snacks can be taken in the evening, but that should be also a healthy one and not the one that upsets the health of the women. So another thing which I would like to highlight is the overlooking your partner's diet. So that is one important thing which we have to think in reproductive age up to menopause. it is our duty to take care of our partner's diet, which help us to manage our diet also. And women are really ill-treated or given not a proper place in certain parts of the world. So they have to feel safe in the public. It is our duty to raise the women's problems and give her rights and give her a safe life wherever she lives. So I would like to say that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So the take-home messages would be every woman should take to have at least 8 hours of sleep that will boost her metabolism, along with at least half an hour exercise per day, at least 5 times a week. And also meditation can calm her mind, and she should take time for herself and she should relax in between. Dietary habits should be a good one, a healthy one, a balanced diet, and which itself will enhance the detoxification of her entire body system, and and lot of emotional stress can be relieved. And also the self-help groups or gynecologist services are available for women to get proper counseling, to have a healthy life, a prosperous life, an enjoyable life in all aspects of her life. So thank you one and all, and it's the time for questions now.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. It is in-depth. Your talk is very in-depth and enlightening speech on women's wellness. I strongly believe every woman watching this program will benefit from your speech. The floor is now open for questions.
Thank you, Dr. Susan. It is really wonderful for understanding about the current health trends for women. My question is, because now the women, especially the modern women, they're not having the intention to share and care about their personal, emotional, or any health perspectives, even with the parents. So their psychology is entirely getting different, and they wanted to go with their friends or the online sources. So how do we embrace the opportunity for the women children? They can able to learn certain things through their curricular learning, along with some extracurricular pattern combined together for their what you mentioned correctly. They have to learn and empower on their own without any kind of myth or bias. Thank you.
Sir, the school-going children, the teachers should gain confidence of the children, sir. So that is one important thing which we can collaborate and do, and we have done in some schools and colleges, but not in a bigger or in a what to say very large capacity.
We can create a kind of group of learners.
So the teachers, if they have they can gain the confidence of the students, it will be better. And after that, then we can analyze the capacity and the situation of the students, and probably we can also involve the parents in this program, a college where the students, college or school. And then another thing is that all classes of women may not understand, or all classes. So as in India, and Nagarkoil is a place where all different cadres of people are there. So in government schools and other schools, the parents may not be educated, so they don't have the knowledge to understand in a proper way. So they should be educated and counseled first to know about the problems their children are facing in every day-to-day life. That is the one thing. And as you said, the online sources, and in our gynecological society, we have one app for this type of students, sir, where they can ask questions regarding their problems and things like that.
It is possible to create some kind of group of members in the children level, especially the girl children level. We can able to train certain kind of ambassadors who can able to address, because the children, they are very comfortable and familiar to the fellow friends rather than the teacher, parent, or a physician like you, because they are feeling very shy, but they are very close to the friend circle. But we have to engage certain kind of the NSS volunteers, NCC volunteers, like that. For the women health volunteers, we can able to create, and they may be guided with a certain kind of superficial parents, teachers, and the physicians like you. So it would be a kind of ideal thing. Maybe Dr. Surendra can answer. It's not only for
To
especially
get a
women,
breakthrough
also for
in
the
this field,
integrated
sir.
and the
That's
holistic.
what I feel.
Yeah. So that kind of education and empowerment we can able to provide to the group. Thank you.
Thanks.
So, any more questions from the audience? Or shall we move on to the fourth speaker?
Yes, I think we can move on.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Williams, for the nice speech which you have given us. Thank you.
Thank you all.
I would like to invite our fourth speaker, Mr. Ramana Laughter. He's a positive psychologist, a life coach, laughter therapies director in LA, India. He's talking on positive psychology with laughter therapy for excessive happiness, managed stress. So, audience, let's welcome Mr. Ramana Laughter on stage. Thank you. Over to you.
You are in mute, sir.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. It is a wonderful opportunity to participate and present about laughter therapy in this August forum. Health is always our wealth. We all are aware about it, but how much of us are focusing on that in this particular process? I will share the presentation to all of you through Dr. Ram and through Dr. Saravanan. I wish this to be more of an experiential process. Hope it is okay with the group.
Yes.
Okay, Dr. Saravanan?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Please proceed.
okay. So we all know that laughter is a very powerful medicine. How many of us do laugh? How many of us do laugh? We all of us are motivated with hedonistic. But most of us are suppressing our emotions, and we are always expecting opportunities to, opportunities for a joke or a sin to laugh. So most importantly, when we look at laughter and cry, are all expressive therapies to express our emotions. All are very powerful. But are we exercising it is the question. So in my experience in public health, basically I'm a clinical psychologist, having 25 years of a public health experience working on HIV and AIDS in a long way. And most importantly, I've been working on cancer for last 3 years. And I was also managing health and wellness of 2 large corporates with the size of over 1.5 lakh in HCL and Mindtree. So in this process, I was able to experience laughter therapy and also started doing laughter therapy as a process. So how do we all laugh? Do we really have a formula for it? And most importantly, we are going to talk about the dose therapy at the end of the process, and let us try to experience with the different types of laughter and how it is really going to help us, and how it is going to help ourselves to be more positive. That is the overall objective. So, dear friends, let us. I got to learn this art of laughter therapy by watching the movie called Patch Adams. I'm sure all of you are aware of Dr. Patch Adams in the US, which was remade, which was made into a real life study with Dr. Robin Williams movie. Robin Williams movie, which was also made into Tamil and Telugu and Hindi in all vernacular Indian languages, called Vasul Raja MBBS, Munaba MBBS and all. In that movie, you must have seen how Dr. Hashrana and Dr. Prakash Raj laughing, but actual Patch Adams talks about excessive happiness in hospitals. How do we make excessive happiness possible? He was able to really make it possible, and he was able to really exercise a lot. So with a lot of dopamine secreting, with a lot of endorphin secreting, and with oxytocin secreting, and most importantly, serotonin secreting, all the happiness hormone secreting, all the negative hormones is managed, and it helps in managing health and well-being. And it also gives a lot of positivity. And as a positive psychologist, I had started wearing this hat and engaging in a lot of action. So I used to manage a large-scale CDC funded Center for Disease Control, Atlanta funded HIV and AIDS program in India in 5 states. And we were able to demonstrate with the community home-based care services in managing, in reducing mortality rate by over 90%, and then by ensuring antiretroviral therapy by over 97.55% of compliance, antiretroviral ART compliance. How did we made it possible? We were able to engage people with HIV and AIDS to work with us, and most importantly, they want the program. We facilitated, we trained them, and we engaged them as peer counselors, peer mentors, and they were able to own the program. And across 5 states, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Nagaland, Manipur, and Andhra Pradesh, we were able to demonstrate this program very successfully. And our program was rated as the 2nd best in the world in HIV and AIDS program. So that's the background of the small. And we were able to use laughter therapy as a tool among the peer educators, because with no cure, people have to live positively, manage their lifestyles, and they were able to live with a lot of hope, with a lot of positive engagement, positive emotions, and they were able to ensure the best of the best, and they were able to overcome all the barriers. So that is how we were able to see. And I was able to relate with Dr. Patch Adams' experiences in this particular. So to start with, how does Dr. Hashrana laugh in the movie Munaba MBBS? Let us all experience laughter and also relate with our own health. My dear friends, when we laugh, we inhale maximum oxygen. When we laugh, we exhale maximum carbon dioxide. We all know that. Most importantly, when we laugh, we also inhale maximum positivity and exhale all the negativity. That's what we all are going to experience. Shall we all start with just laugh? We are going to see some 5 to 7 different types of laughter. We will experience how it is going to be. Right. To start with, let us join. I request all of you to join with me in just laugh. Let us giggle for 10 seconds. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Start giggling. 1. Friends, can we feel the difference? Can we feel the difference? Observe your breathing.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
We inhale maximum oxygen.
So
We
other
exhale
friends,
maximum
if
carbon
possible, they
dioxide.
can open the video so we can able to see your face. Please,
Yeah, please.
if
I
possible,
request
you
all
can
of you
open the
to
video and
be on your
join with
videos.
this laughter therapy. This is the
Let us
time just we
the
can
happiness.
laugh. Your
I request
privilege.
all of you to be on video if you feel comfortable. Let us enjoy together, right? Friends, can we feel the difference? We inhale maximum oxygen, we exhale maximum carbon dioxide. How is our energy level? Can we feel the difference? We tend to be more positive, more enthusiastic.
Yes.
And when we are more energetic, we can always exercise anything. We have done this with people with HIV and AIDS. Now we are doing this with HIV and AIDS positive people. And as a psychologist, I used to use a lot of humor in my clinical practice. And we were able to help the patient to express their emotions. And it was a very powerful catharsis. That is one. So just laugh, we could experience it. Now, in our day-to-day life, managing emotion is a very important factor. Anger is one thing which we all struggle to manage. We have a very simple process to manage anger. Whenever we are negotiating with ego, it leads to anger. Yes? That's quite natural. Whenever we are negotiating with ego, it leads to anger. Whenever we are whenever we are not able to manage a situation or a circle or a person or any factor, when we are, our inability leads to anger. That is the bottom line fact. How do we manage it? Let us use our super ego. If we don't know, we will say we don't know. And if we are not able to manage a situation, we will seek help. Here, we will use super ego to negotiate in our negotiation. How do we do that? Our body language is very powerful, we all know. I request all of you to raise your right hand with your index finger facing upward and do like this. Whenever we are negotiating, whenever we are angry, we always do like this with people. I request all of you to do this and add laughter to this. Friends, this is called as negotiating laughter. Hope you all enjoyed it. When you are negotiating with super ego, there is no place for anger. And most importantly, it helps us to bridge our relationship, strengthens our relationship, and most importantly, we will be able to have a guilt-free factor. When we express anger, it leads to guilty after some time, whether at home or at workplace. And most importantly, as professionals, we need to manage our emotions very powerfully. So we can always smartly use humor as a very powerful tool. So this is called as negotiating laughter. If you like it, let us all appreciate ourselves. And this is called the appreciating laughter. And start laughing. And handshake, appreciate your colleagues, friends. Appreciation is a very powerful tool at home, at workplace, and it really helps us to manage at all levels. With all the third person, we tend to be more diplomatic. With all our first person and second person, we tend to show our anger. So let us think about it, and let us exercise positive emotions, and let us appreciate people to make it more. So we have seen 3 different types of laughter: just laugh, appreciating laughter, and negotiating laughter. Now we are going to see a very powerful laughter in which we are going to awaken a giant which is sleeping within all of us. Shall we do? I request all of you to raise your hand. This is called as the lion laughter. The lion will roar with the tongue outside. Friend, this is a very powerful exercise for our lungs, for our brain, and most importantly for our throat, and also for our whole face. Shall we do that? I request all of you to raise your right hand, hands, put your tongue outside, and start laughing with your tongue outside. Friends, can you experience the strain, stress in your chest? Especially, it really stimulates our lungs and it strengthens our cells. Can you feel more pressure in your neck, throat? It really strengthens. Most importantly, we would also be able to feel some pressure in ourselves. It really stimulates a lot of our whole body, and most importantly, it really energizes ourselves. This is the power of this line laughter. Whenever we say the line laughter, it also denotes our leadership style. Some are autocratic, some are democratic, some are laissez-faire, some are task-oriented. Most importantly, some are people-oriented. Nothing is perfect in this world because perfect is not perfect. Reflecting on our own leadership styles, we'll do one more round of line laughter. I request all of you to raise your hands and put your tongue outside and start laughing for 10 seconds. Right, thank you. So this is a very powerful laughter process. Now we are going to do a very powerful laughter process for our thyroid glands. This is called as the Heiner Laughter. Friends, I have done this with over 1.5 lakh of people. Many of my friends who had thyroid problems were able to share that they were able to manage it. It prevents thyroid hyperthyroidism or hypothyroidism and also helps people to manage who are on medication. Shall we do this? Heiner Laughter. Everybody put your, close your mouth and start laughing. Let us experience it. Start laughing. Okay, thank you. So we could feel more pressure in our lungs and we could feel more pressure in our throat. It really stimulates our thyroid glands and really help people to manage it. It prevents hyperthyroidism or hypothyroidism. And one of my clients who was on medication for almost 11 years, a 33-year-old lady, she was sharing that after practicing this for this Heiner Laughter every day for 10 seconds to 15 seconds in 3 sets, she was able to have a normal life along with her. She was complementing along with her medication. This is Heiner Laughter for you, my dear friends. Let us do one more round of Heiner Laughter, closing your mouth. Now, in our day-to-day life, we all have our own goals. We need to focus on our goals. That is our task. Let us focus. We will use our bow and arrow. In India, we call it as the Arjuna Laughter with our bow and arrow. Everybody put yourself, use your bow and arrow and do it like this. When we achieve our goals, how do we feel? We will always feel good. Yes, friends, when we feel good, we always need to appreciate ourselves. And most importantly, we always expect others to appreciate us, but we always fail to appreciate our own self. I was working with a lot of, most of the times I was doing this process with the software engineers. I always used to share that we have developed a simple 5-item tool to express, appreciate our own self. I wish to share with you. It's a simple 5-item tool. Everybody put your hands, stretch your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very important, friends. The most important person to appreciate Our self is self. When the self is appreciating, our motivation is always enhanced. Our self-esteem is always on the top. When the self-esteem is always on high and positive, we tend to be more motivated. We tend to be more positive. We tend to raise our bars. That is the power of this laughter, appreciating self and focusing on our goals. The next goal is we wear different types of masks in our day-to-day life. The word personality, we all know the word personality originated from a Latin word persono, which means a mask. According to situations, right from childhood, we wore different masks with our own parents and changed with our friends, changed with many. So my dear friends, we wear different types of masks. At the same time, that when there is a hero, there is also a villain. Now we are going to laugh with ahankar. This is a very powerful exercise for our brain, and it really helps in managing our sleep and helps in managing our pain. Let us do this exercise. I request all of you to raise your hand like this, and we are going to laugh with 10 of our faces. We call it the Ramana Laughter in India. Let us do this with lot of engagement. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, start. Friends, can we feel the pressure in our head? It really charges. It is a very powerful exercise for our brain. When we do this laughter exercise, especially the Ramana Laughter, we all know that our brain requires more oxygen. Normally, we use our lungs capacity only for 67%. When we laugh, we maximize it to 100% if we do it properly, when we do it effectively. When we do this exercise, we get more oxygen to our brain. It really pumps in a lot of positive hormones too. We can always feel good, and it will always make good. This is the power of Ramana Laughter, or the laughter with a lot of ego. Most importantly, when we do this exercise, when we laugh at our own self, we overcome our own self. We will never give a space for others to laugh at us. Always feel good, and most importantly, it really charges us. That is the power of this laughter. When we laugh at our own self, it helps us to manage our own self. It enhances our own self. We accept our own negativity and negative emotions too, and we tend to be more positive. This is the power of this laughter. The last laughter for this particular exercise is the belly laughing. Our fitness is always very important. Let us all raise our hands, and we'll take a deep breath, bend backward, bend forward, bend forward, laughing. Start laughing. Let us do it 5 times. Right, friend. Just observe, close your eyes, observe your breathing, observe your heartbeat, observe your energy levels, introspect yourself, introspect your thoughts. Can you feel the difference? This is the power of laughter. We inhale maximum oxygen, we exhale maximum carbon dioxide, we inhale maximum positivity, we exhale maximum negativity, and most importantly, we always feel good. How is our heartbeat? Laughter, what we were doing is a power laughter exercise, my dear friends. Power laughter, 10 minutes of power laughter is equal to 45 minutes of cardio exercise. It secretes a lot of positive hormones to protect our heart. It normalizes our blood pressure. It normalizes our BP, our pulse rate, and it helps us in managing ourselves. It's a very powerful cardio exercise. How is our energy level? Energy level will always be at the high because we are always designed like a dynamo. The dynamo generates its own power. We also can generate our own energy by laughing with joy, laughing with more energy. It energizes us, and we can always feel enthusiastic. That is the power of this laughter. So most importantly, it helps us in managing our own relationship at home, strengthens and bonds at all levels, it breaks hierarchy at workplace, and it helps us at all levels. Whenever whenever people want to laugh, they make fun of others and enjoy. But when we really engage ourselves and enjoy ourselves, it really makes a lot of difference. That is the power of laughter. In healthcare setting, we could feel it at the highest level. We were able to use this exercise among HIV and AIDS affected people, cancer patients, and most importantly, with many of the people to be more positive. When they are positive, they could always feel the dose therapy. Dose it secretes a lot of dopamine, the mood elevating hormones, and most importantly, the love hormone, that is the oxytocins, and the serotonin is secreted, and it helps us to manage at all levels and stabilizing our moods. And the last, it secretes a lot of endorphins, which is very, very important in managing our own painkillers, in secreting our own painkillers and helping us to be more. Laughter is a very powerful exercise, which we have been doing it for 7, and it has to be practiced. My dear friends, all of us have suppressed our laughter. Let us make everyone laugh and enjoy themselves. Prevention is always better than cure. We all know that. Let us ensure everybody laughs at least 5 minutes every day, and they can always have a positive life. And most importantly, it helps at all levels. At all levels, I mean psychologically, physically, and socially, and most importantly, when we are introspecting our own thoughts, we could feel a lightness, because laughter dissolves all the tensions, stress. Laughter is also a stress. Whenever we are talking about stress, we always associate with distress. But there is also positive stress, which is eustress. Laughter helps us. Laughter is also a stress, which is positive stress, and it enhances a lot of our positivity. And that is what we wanted to share with you. And I will share all the reading materials which I was using for presentation. And let us open this for question and answer. If you want to do one more round of all the laughters together, I can also do that. So over to Vijayalakshmi. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share laughter therapy as a tool for positive psychology and for excessive happiness. Hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you. Namaste.
Yes, it was really, really enjoying. Yeah, we now understand the power of laughter, what it does to us and to our mind and body too. Thank you, sir, for the wonderful session. Okay, I would like to invite some questions from the floor.
I just want to make a comment. This was the most interesting talk that we had today, and I enjoyed it thoroughly because I could fully participate in it. And I can see the effect it had on the MC. She's much lighter now. So Vijayalakshmi, I think you enjoyed and you have laughed with it as well. Well done. Yeah.
Here I'd like to supplement one thing, Dr. Ram Kumarji. There is no doubt that the laughter, 3 minutes laughter is equivalent to 30-minute jogging. This is called internal jogging, laughter. And laughter therapy has been introduced in large number of companies and institutions, especially in United States of America. A decade before, we also introduced this laughter therapy in one of our schools actually. So in the morning assembly, we used to have 3 minutes and 1,500 students and 150 teachers for 3 minutes we used to laugh together. So that is one of the thing I think we should implement it in our regular way. Just for your kind information, the opposite of laughter is also a crying therapy. The William Fry, one biochemist in the Department of Psychiatry in St. Paul Hospital in Minnesota, I'm talking it about, they worked on crying because crying is a natural safety wall, just opposite of the laughter. And the psychology of the tears and physiology of the tears, on this the work was done, and they compared the tears which is caused by the onion cut, the artificial tears, and the natural tears, where they had shown a very serious and sad movie, and then they compared the quality of both the tears. They find that the natural tears have the more toxic substance. So now in some of the university, along with the laughter therapy, the crying therapy is also used. Crying sessions are there. So when there is overloading of the emotions, then they go for either for the laughter or for the crying, and both the therapies are really useful. Thank you, Dr. Ramkumarji, for enlightening.
Thank you so much. As you rightly shared, cry therapy and laughter therapy are all expressive therapies to express our bottled emotions, which helps us to be lighter and helps us at all levels. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, like that, the anger emotions also, there are some places they are breaking all the apparels and equipments or any other scrapped material, so they are banging. So it is also making them to keep from the compressed mode if they are having any kind of anger like that. That kind of things also, as you mentioned correctly, expression therapy, whatever it may be, you want to scold, you want to show, exhibit your anger. There are many movies also, these kind of things. They are very alone and they are shouting, they are crying, they are emotionally speaking with the characters level like that. So all these human being should not get suppressed by their emotions. They have to express their emotions, then only they can get relief of the stress. I hope this session is really wonderful. It is added value for the people who wanted to come and learn something from the Health and Wellness Symposium. You are correctly pointing out the emotions and the expressions, which are very, very essential for the humankind. They have to release the stress. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And, as you are rightly shared, that's how the movies and TV shows are all cinema therapies are as considered as cinema therapy. Definitely, it makes a lot of difference. Let us express positivity and creative positiveness around us. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. I would like to make a comment too. I'm a teacher. If I were to open a school, I'd definitely have this session in my school every day. Yeah, you really motivated me, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vijayalakshmi. Enjoy. Have a great evening.
You too, sir. Okay, with this, I would like to invite our last speaker, Dr. B Ramanadan, the founder and managing director of International Private Limited Singapore. He is also the president of GIST organization and has been giving a lot of keynote speech in many events. He will be addressing the topic on the necessity of work-life balance today. So let us invite Dr. Ramanadan on stage, please. Over to you, Dr. Ramanadan.
Thank you, Ms. Vijayalakshmi, for making the wonderful introduction. And I wish to thank Dr. Saravanan, who has arranged this Health and Wellness Symposium. We are in the end of the period of this 2021. It taught a lot, but it is also giving a lot to us. The same way, today's session also added value for the people who have attended here, who have come forward to share their knowledge source and the expressive kind of content, which are very much appreciable, as well as we have to follow these kind of beneficial things from the eminent persons who have shared today. I would like to thank the other dignitaries who are back with this Andrew and Parker Wellness Consortium. This is the time we need to hand together put our efforts, and we can able to engage the community to develop, as well as the people needed to be guided properly and taking to the next level of their life. So I would like to start with my PowerPoint presentation. Can you see the slides? Is it moving?
Yes, doctor.
Yes, Dr. Ram.
Good evening, all. This is the wonderful time for us to think and share something which are very important. Especially, they correctly pointed out before the speakers. I would like to quote again: "An ounce of prevention make a pound of health and wealth for our life." The same way, Mr. Ram Kumar also mentioning prevention is better than cure. So one of the elements for preventive care is the necessities of work-life balance, because we are having the life which are having the two kind of part, that is working life and the personal life. There are people who are getting struggle how to balance in between the work and life because of their lifestyles, because of the cultural values, because of the conditions which are demanding them how to make themselves fit to the environment when they are making the commitments towards the working nature, as well as the personal accomplishments for their self perspectives, as well as the family and social environment. So there are a lot of features: career, health, earning money, and spending the vacation time, or involving with the business activities, getting along with the friends in the society or relatives, uh, balancing in the workplace with the team members or colleagues or stakeholders, and immediate family members in their own family. There are many things we can able to think about that. Especially every individual, they have certain goals and they are planning to achieve it, and they are formulating certain strategy how to embrace this kind of opportunity to come into their hand. So all these put together, we must need to think how do we able to engage our life in between the work-life balancing environment. Myself, Dr. B Ramanadan, I am the PhD holder in biomedical science. I have been as a professional in R&D department, and then switch over to the learning and development department. Then later I entered with the business and development as an entrepreneur kind of mindset. I'm running this company for the more than 3.5 years in Singapore. So we are helping the people in many aspects, especially for the business and the global environment. As per as concerned with the United Nations, who have designed the global sustainable development goals, there are 17 elements they have prescribed for the people who wanted to achieve this sustainability development when they are designing their goals. Definitely, it would add value for the people who can able to look after with these 17 goal sets. They can able to achieve the greater success in their life. Because of time concern, I don't want to go very deeper with this. You can Google up and read these kind of things. Otherwise, you can reach to me. I will give the particular article for you. Many people, they are not succeeded. They are getting failed. Frequently, they are facing the failures. How do we able to think? What are the reasons behind with these kind of failures, especially when you wanted to become an empowered person, but we cannot able to do it successfully? There are people who have certain kind of myths and bias kind of confusions. Everyone has their own interpretations. They are comparing. They have fixed their mind for believing certain things. And there are people who can not achieve the great things with the timely bounded kind of environment. They cannot able to prove their ability to succeed with the time. There are people who are disconnected with the conditions. They can't able to do that, pull the plug kind of environment, and they are getting isolated because of the conditions and the mindfulness. They can't able to cope up well with the surrounding. Uh, Another way, the fear of failure. They are fearing whether it is going to fail for them like that. The business is doing well on its own current way, but it is not doing the correct way what they are believing. So all these together making the failures. Quality of work-life balance is the criteria for the people who can able to entice the physical, mental, social, and the economic kind of supports in their work. So all these kind of things are we have to think how do we able to make it possible. Countries with the best quality of work-life balance, Netherlands getting the first place when compared to 1 to 10 scaling up. 9.5 they have achieved. Italy is the second place. Denmark is the third place. Spain and France respectively behind with that. There are some studies conducted. 50 cities known for attracting overseas professionals and families for work opportunity. And they preferred the top cities. Oslo, Norway is the third place in 2019. Helsinki, Finland, number one, and Copenhagen, Denmark, Hamburg, Germany, Berlin, Munich, Vienna, Zurich, Stockholm, Calgary. And the same time, top 5 overworked cities. Hong Kong is the leading one. Singapore is the second one. Seoul is the third, and Kuala Lumpur fourth. Fifth is Tokyo. Can we never achieve the work-life balance? Many people, they are confusing in their mindset whether they are doing good with the work-life conditions when it is endorsing the demands for them. Singapore is the second most overworked city when analyzed in the 2020. 41 out of 50 cities based on work intensity, the society and institution are making livability for them. But Singapore is second highest, that is 25.1% of employees are working more than 48 hours per week. So they are getting some kind of overtime work. So they could not able to do the correct thing for their personal or family and social life. Singaporeans are the most stressed according to the 2019 survey by health services company Cigna. Why are Singaporeans working so hard and they have more time?
Mama lagi kau yang tidur. Apa? Dah berat kira. Ada berat lagi. Apa? Ini je pun dah. Ada pun dah naik pada program.
Why are Singaporeans working so hard? Is work-life balance really possible in Singapore? These kind of questions endorsed recently, and we have to analyze how to balance in our work-life conditions in Singapore. Now it is the conditions. Many people, because of the COVID-19, they are working from remote, like work from home. So this is the analysis between the remote workers and office workers. The experience remote workers are getting more experiencing with the stress during the working day and experiencing anxiety during the work day, feeling overwhelmed. They are very graceful and they can be managing the conditions, having low motivation to work because there is no surrounding people to encourage them or supporting them if they are facing any kind of difficulty in their life during the working conditions. You can see there are a lot of obstacles, the biggest obstacles to good work-life balance. Because of the bad boss who are doing some kind of demanding or commanding or kind of overbearing kind of intuitions in the working place, that is also making the distractions and disturbance for the people who are working under him. Constantly working outside the regular hours because sales and marketing people, they are roaming and they are traveling very far away from the home places. And this is also making some kind of stress for them in the prolonged time. Especially we can say the the pharmacy products selling people and other selling people who are going in and around. They have to do certain kind of marketing to announce and get the order from different places, insurance agents, realty agents, and many more things we can mention. Flexible, inflexible working hours, incompetent working colleagues, because there are colleagues, they are not capable of doing the right job. It is also pressurizing the person who are doing with the teamwork and all. Long commutes, like traveling to the faraway places, like in US, it is 100 to 200 kilometers every day they are traveling to go and work and come back to the place. There are people who are flying frequently for their working natures and unproductive meetings. They are spending this kind of thing in the meeting time, and it is burdening for them. They can't be at productive conditions in their work. What part of your life has suffered when you are getting some kind of poor work-life balance? Family relationship, already Dr. Surendra Das mentioned, as well as the Mr. Ramkumar also mentioning about that. When you want to feel happy, you can make others happy, because happy thing may not come from a kind of begging or a kind of donating to others like that. So the friendships also very important. When you are having the livelihood in your conditions, you must need to raise good friends who can able to share and care about the conditions. Self-care, self-grooming is very, very important. If you don't consider your personal health, you cannot able to accomplish it in great things in your life. And mental, emotional health also you have to manage. Physical health, you have to spend good time for your exercise, your need of time to have that kind of conditions to balance. Work-life balance may help you to maintain both your mental health and physical health. No doubt about that. There are people, they are very happy when they are working, when they are doing their personal things also. They are knowing out how to burn out, how to make the health issues not to endorse in the workplaces like that. And you have to make yourself not to continuously getting stressed due to the kind of commitments and contributions when you are engaging in the life. Otherwise, it will go to produce some kind of sickness or ill health in your body as well as mind. The workplace factors that matters for most of the employees, they want to have good culture values. They want to get some kind of senior leadership kind of capacity holding, good career opportunity, because it is the progressive way. They want to get some kind of promotions and rewards for their contributions. That is the way the work-life balance also very important for them to consider, as well as the compensations and tax and packages and benefits what they are getting out of the workplace. These are all the reflections received from the Glassdoor. You all well known about that. The staff members who can able to comment about the earlier employment or employees like that. Here, 5 tips we can consider for the better work-life balance. You have to examine your situation, because situation is the main causative factor. If you don't consider the values and the supports you are getting from the situation, it will create certain kind of deformations or difficulty for you. Manage other people's expectation. You have to consider your fellow colleagues or surrounding people who are getting some kind of opinion about them, about you and your performance. Take care of your health. You have to maintain the good health kind of thing. Like Surendra Das ji as well as Ramkumar ji, they mentioned how do you embrace the laughter to keep healthy, as well as expression, your conditions to express whatever the way you want to speak out, or you have to express it out. Learn to say no. That is the main thing. There are people who are saying always yes, but they can't able to meet out, and it is creating a lot of stress for them. So you must need to learn how to say no for certain kind of things. That will protect you from many kind of difficulties. Plan funful activities and engage your personal time valuable for you. Here we can see 78% they are having the personal freedom. That is very important. If you are compressed, you are not having the freedom to do anything, that will more give certain kind of difficulty for you to manage your circumstances. Having the basic needs, that is almost 75% of the people. Achieving one's potential, maximum potential, you have to explore and exhibit for the surrounding people. Having enough free time for yourself, and 54% being in harmony. They are loving with the nature. They are spending the time with the nature. Many people, they don't have this kind of balancing as a holistic way of life. 23% they are achieving affluence. That is also very important. You have to create the way to succeed. The ways to support your work-life balance is very important, especially for the employees. The employers must need to consider how to make the flexible working time, how to encourage them, how to regularly review their workloads, whether it needed to be reviewed to reduce, making the kind of leading capacity for the people, and give the employees for the time to volunteer. They have to showcase their love and affection and care and share with the surrounding people. All this making the people to work in a different environment where they can endorse the work-life balance comfortably for the personal life, along with the family, friends, and self-grooming kind of things. Plus, professional life for the people who can able to engage the job completions as well as the career goals to achieve. We must need to think how to make our steps towards the work-life balance, the time on particular manner to finish the work in the timely bounded environment. Establish the boundaries and schedule yourself to complete your goals or your demands in the right way. Take care of your health, also very important. Make some time for you, that is also good. Nurture your family and friends, also very important. The benefits of the work-life balance, we have to engage both the parties, that employees as well as organization. They must need to come together, how to engage this kind of satisfaction in the work environment, or providing some kind of improved status in the work-life working places, how to endorse the personal as well as workaholic nature to complete by the staff members. Making some good team, that is also very important, because many people, they forget how to coordinate with the team orientation, better team orientation. That is giving a lot of values for the people when they cannot able to balance to complete the work or task. So these are all very important for you to consider from the organization level as well as employee benefits level. The importance of work-life balance, we must need to think positive personal factors, because earlier speakers also mentioning positive attitude is the best attitude to look the challenge to see as an opportunity for you. If you are not having that kind of mindset to face the positive manner, the challenges will overlook on your life. So that is the way you have to engage your positive mentality to manage positive personal factors, positive organizational factors, positive social factors. Because of the COVID, now many people are getting annoyed and they are not having the good positive mindset to look on the world, how it is going on now. Because of the compression of COVID-19 safety restrictions, travel restrictions, and working from home kind of conditions, many things we can say, but even you have to learn how to manage all these things to balance in your work-life conditions and making some kind of fruitful living style. There are most soft after the workplace ethics and behavior. Many people, they are very honest, they are integrated with the kind of opportunity. They are maintaining their self-discipline and decorum as well as dedication to complete the task in the right manner. They are very fair and respectful for the people who are expecting from them. They are responsible and accountable. These are all very important when you are working in the office environment or the remote working places. Your behavior is everything. Your attitude is determining your altitude. So you must need to endorse these behavioral characters. How do you able to accomplish for the conditions as of now? Work life as well as private life, already we spoke a lot and we have seen a lot. Happy employees are the good asset of the organization. If you are providing the benefits, especially in those with the work-life conditions, they are making more quality towards with the working nature. They are exhibiting their knowledge, completely working on that, and they are exhibiting their professionalism to endorse for the requirement. They are very honest and integrity-oriented person in the community as well as team. They are providing a lot of innovative ideas for the enrichment as well as growth factors of the organization they are very ambitious to prepare the career goals to achieve in your organization, you can retain them for a long run. If they don't feel comfortable, they will choose the other opportunity to leave the firm or to leave the position. So that you have to keep in mind. So you have to balance between the work life as well as private life of the employees. How work-life balance could benefit the organization? Here we have the few chart. How do you make the possible things? Paid time off. There are people who wanted to take the vacation, travel and all. They have to be paid for that. Flexible working hours, maybe shift or any kind of weekly or weekend kind of time. You can able to arrange some kind of flexible work hours and paid time off. Ability to work in the remote conditions. You have to provide the freedom for them to choose if they wanted to do certain kind of work from the remote conditions. Provide the child care. If you are endorsing these kind of things for the women and the father, especially the mother and father, they are feeling very happy and they are comfortable for the newborn babies, toddlers, or early childhood time. For whenever it is possible, they can take the turn to take care of the children. Employee benefits are very much important. That contains the work-life balance. Work-life balance is endorsing now the meaningful thing. The government also insisting through their compliance and regulation, as well as the organizations also wanted to retain the good employees by providing this kind of opportunity. You have to provide the vacation holiday, you have to provide the parenting leaves, employee engagement programs, retreat programs, refreshment kind of opportunity. Now everywhere the Christmas holidays are engaged and they are celebrating. I hear my friends and business owners, they are arranging the Christmas holidays to celebrate the kind of opportunity. It is also a kind of sharing and caring along with the staff members in the community. You have to provide the insurance coverage for their health and the well-being status to maintain, enabling some kind of continuous learning opportunity to improve their learning strategy. We have to provide some kind of employee discount vouchers, how to meet out with their own expenditures kind of thing. Here, the 10 work-life habits for the successful entrepreneurs. They set their working hours, unplug when they wanted to break the time. You see many entrepreneurs, they are taking the leave. They are going for some vacation, break out for their stress and come back again with the energy. These kind of things, even for the weekend time also, they are spending the social get-together, time spending with the family for their breakout things. Take at least 1 day off per week. It is a needful thing. You have to make yourself free 24/7. If you are working for long run, you cannot able to accomplish the great aspirations to provide the work-life conditions for your life. Schedule me time. You have to take care of yourself. Schedule your meal times. Many people, they forget, they don't eat breakfast, they skip. They eat a meal lunchtime in the late evening. Sometimes they are dining in the late night. So it should not be a kind of good habit. Cross one item off your to-do list without doing it. So you have to prioritize your duty. If anything you want to do, you have to prioritize how to make it possible to finish in the required time manner. Adjust and readjust. You have to review and you have to analyze. When you want to make the adjustment, you have to go and adjust with that for the sake of getting success. What is the ideal weekday for the work-life balance? Here some kind of pie chart. You can see the 33% the people who are working 1/3 of the day, but other 33 hours they are making the kind of rest, sleeping. And so the remaining 33 hours we have to do the commuting travel. We have to spend the time with the family. We have to do some kind of meal time to finish household chores, anything you want to commit to do in the family side, and recreation, any kind of entertainment and all. There are people they are spending nearly 8%. So altogether, the 1/3 for your work, 1/3 for your sleep, 1/3 for your personal requirements. So ACE International, we are providing the consulting service for business excellence strategies through our products and services, consultation, licensing, auditing, education and training, research and innovation, digital transformation and solutions, business and management services by the way of outsourcing our expertise, our experts, career advisory support for the staff members who can uplift their career goals, products and material sourcing. If they are requiring any kind of special products, we can support it. Yes, International also offering the consulting service for the capability building through applied learning program, especially the STEM education in the school children as well as high learning students. Global immersion program, cross-cultural learning, internship opportunities, or any kind of student exchange program to overseas. Because of the travel restrictions, we are getting stuck. Once it is getting normal, we encourage the people who can visit smart nation of environment. They can learn different kind of culture here. They can explore to the different institutions and industries. How do they perform well for the required things as of now, the world competitive place. Thank you so much for your patience. This is my contact. If you want to reach me, you can reach me to know better about our activities to help you. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. Over to Ms. Jayesh.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Ram, for sharing the importance of having a work-life balance in one's life. As for now, we can entertain one or two questions from the audience.
I'll just supplement what Dr. Ramanadan ji has beautifully presented. When I was reading the graph, isn't it the bar 60% bad boss? This is very true. There are two things. There was a survey actually that what are the factors which causes the highest stress in the life. So a bad boss and bad spouse both were rated at the same level. So very true. I think a very beautiful coverage, comprehensive that organization health and the balance between life and the work, they are two important factors. And then you are providing very enlightening talk and very, very useful. Very, very useful. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ram.
Very nice presentation, Dr. Ram. And as we all know that mental health is always neglected in all settings, number one. And when we look into work-life balance adds more onto mental health issues, for which positive engagement is very, very important. Definitely, it will be a great, with your positive approach. Thank you so much for sharing. And it will really make sense. And I just want to ask one question. Which are the countries which use positive approach for work-life balance? What are the key activities done for work-life balance? Thank you.
Because they analyze the way how much it is possible for them to help. Because as a kind of questions, the pregnancy for the mother, the women, they wanted to deliver the child. How many countries they are offering the paid leave for the women to take care of their newborn babies, and they are supporting the father also during the time, because it is the duty for taking care by both of them. So you can be able to check the countries who are giving these kind of conditions to provide the legal way paid leave, as well as the organization must need to endorse for this kind of support. These are all the ways, but there are people who are affected with the sickness and they are getting allowed for the treatment if they want to frequently take the leave. If they are very worth for the company, they can able to provide the exemption when normal people may not, but the sick conditions, especially for the chronic illness, many people, they can't able to balance these kind of things because they have to go for frequent checkup, medication or any kind of therapy. So they are making a lot of medical leave. And there are people who wanted to spend for their family, especially they want to apply for the leave. In Singapore, most of the expatriates, they are expecting these kind of conditions because they are far away from their native place, home place, and relations. And so it is the kind of condition they want to take sufficient leave to go and spend with their kith and kin, and they want to spend with their parents, both the in-laws as well. So they must need to take 2 or 3 weeks to take their children to go and visit different places, engage with the time spending with the relatives. you can see the countries who are embracing all this opportunity, they are allowing the human rights, how much it is possible. Many of the employment organizations, they won't allow. You are allowed for only 1 week. You are allowed for only 5 days at a time. So it is not possible. But being in Singapore, I can see this. But in India, it is not so required. But only the overseas expatriates can apply for this. But other places, we can't. But in Gulf countries, you can see during the month of Ramjan, they are taking the 1 month leave so they can come and spend enough time with the family and friends. They can go back. It is paid leave. So these kind of supports we have to. So we can list out many factors. How many positive things they are endorsing for the working community. They are comfortable for their personal life to take care, as well as the comfortability for the workplace to maintain the aspects to complete the task in right manner. So all these things are making, but it is a debatable topic. All countries may not be very perfect, but there are countries, they are very much focusing, they are very much appreciating all these things are put in front. And that is the way the legal things are enforced. So we have to learn that, we have to improve that. Now, as per the Glassdoor, you know the website, many of the employees, they are coming out from the organizations, they are putting their remarks about the earlier organization, whether it is good or bad, they are pouring out all these kind of words. So we must need to analyze this kind of spoke out kind of things from the employees. And many people, you see, they earlier times, they are recommending, they are referring the staff to come and join the new employees to the organization. But how many of them are now, they are ready to recommend for their own company? It's very difficult, because if they're having the bad experience, as rightly pointed out by Dr. Surendra Das, about the boss, about the condition of working with the team members, and many people, they won't suggest, you don't come to my company, like that they are telling. So these are all the factors we need to consider, because staff members are the first asset of the organization, whether it is the teaching colleges or any kind of schools or government offices. Many people, they are recommending this department, you don't come. It is not going to add value for you. This bank, they are not doing good. They are going to sink in few years of time. So they are not doing great. So it's all the effective governance, implementation of the activities. Many ways, many factors we have to consider.
Thank you. Actually, as you shared correctly, the SDGs focus on employee wellness and well-being at one level. ILO is also advocating for the same. When we have happy employees, the productivity is always enhanced, and the productivity is enhanced, profit is ensured, so that the triple bottom can be ensured. So let us have happy wellness and well-being. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Lam. We have actually come to the end of the program, but before we close up, I would like to invite Dr. Tain, who has a doctorate in medicinal chemistry. She is a knowledgeable and experienced researcher and a passionate senior research scientist from different research institutions and organizations. So can we have Dr. Tain Molia to give a thank you note? Over to you, Dr. Tain Molia.
Good evening, dear all. Thank you, Ms. Vijayalakshmi, for the introduction. What I can start with, I am really very excited being here in this symposium. Wow, it is an excellent sharing from every professional. It has been appropriately organized at this very apt time when the world experiences a lot of chaos in their physical, mental, emotional health. So thank you, Dr. Saravanan, for organizing the symposium very aptly. And thank you all the professionals and researchers, very regardable, knowledgeable, and with the great expertise. You have shared your all the wellness information in this forum. Actually, I hope everybody has benefited with this very informative sharing. Thank you, sirs and madam. we really greatly respect and appreciate at this point of time, expressing our gratitude for your valuable time and efforts in sharing this knowledge with us in this forum. Thank you. Actually, as a respect, we thought that we would go through a quick run through rather and a brief catch up of all the very useful information shared in this forum very fast. And that would benefit the audience also to recall the very, very important sharing in this forum. That would be a great ending. Yeah. So we will get to the first speaker, Dr. Saravanan. He has mentioned about the importance of the SME and the collaborative work in profession, in research, and especially in wellness area. We have to share the knowledge and interact and get things done in an interdisciplinary manner, which will be more efficient to deliver the best of our efforts. So that I think it has made a great impact in everybody who has listened to his talk, and it is a kind of invitation from him to call upon your open willingness to interact and collaborate with his research too. Yeah, I really appreciate that point he has mentioned, and thank you, sir. Coming to Dr. Surendra Das, who was the second speaker, it was an excellent, insightful sharing, which has opened up everybody's understanding of their emotions and its response to the body. Of course, recently there are many reports on this health and attitude, health and mental condition, and positivity and all this. And it is rightly mentioned here by Dr. Das with all the evidences of the research in the neuropeptides and their responses and the emotional molecules, which is really wonderful to hear the name itself, molecules with that respond to emotions, and how they changes their frequency and energy, that in turn changes the energy of the person who experience it, and how the negative feelings impact our health, and how it is becoming the seed for having diseases. So it's a very intriguing, insightful talk, sir. And actually your sharing of how the emotion increases the immunoglobulin, which is responsible, which is a marker for the disease, and the body's response to act against it. So just equate your negative feelings whenever it comes to you, and remember that it causes disease, emotional decline. Negative emotion causes the decline in the health. Thank you, sir. It was a very wonderful sharing. And you reminded me on Bruce Lipton, the molecular biologist, and Dr. Joe Dispenza, who is working on the emotion and the healing, and Dr. Greg Braden. These are all, the lead that I have heard of, and your talk has really compiled all their findings in a nutshell. Thank you, sir. We enjoyed your sharing, and it was very useful. And the third speaker, Dr. Susan William from Nagarkoil, and very rightly she shared the wellness of women, and people really lack the knowledge of how this PCOD and post and premenopausal conditions in women's health, all the gynecological aspects she has very openly and kindly shared her knowledges, and it was helpful. Main takeaway from her message is to take care of the emotional health, exercise, keeping the fitness, physical fitness, and taking care of the diets, very balanced diets, taking the right food and everything. And her mention of safe sex is very impactful. The message is to respect and honor women in public. Yeah, it's a message to the society. Thank you, madam. It was a very useful sharing, and you shared how an adolescent to adult life in women's wellness is important and how the family and society should help her. Thank you, madam. And coming to the fourth speaker, yeah, and Madam has shared about the app, and it is definitely useful. And Dr. Ram has rightly pointed out that the younger ones are not bold enough to share the conditions and emotions they go through, and things that are unknown they discuss with only peers. And it would be nice to go through the setup where they are comfortable, and you have rightly addressed his question, and we have to work on that to improve the next generation society. Not only the younger girls, the adults also, women, they have hesitation as a social restriction. They don't share their gynecological issues with the family even, and hard to share with the society. So it has given a very useful information for health. Thank you, madam. And coming to the fourth speaker, yes, fourth speaker, Mr. Ramkumar Sedupati. Wow, it was really an energy boosting session, sir. We everyone here would appreciate and accept with me that it was totally changed the positivity and the energy level of the audience here after hearing you with all the exercises of so many laughter therapies, how laughter and laughter therapy, mainly the power of laughter has impacted the emotion, in turn the energy, and in turn that impacts the health wellness of an individual. And we have to incorporate at least 5 minutes of laughter therapy in our day-to-day life routine, as a routine. Your mention of achievement, how do you feel, how do you enhance the self-esteem by laughter, managing emotion by laughter, and how our physique like breath, heartbeat, emotional level, blood pressure, pulse, and overall the positivity has increased with the laughter. It's again very eye-opening session. Of course, we hear of laughter therapy, but the experience that you have given to everybody here was phenomenal. We enjoyed, as Dr. Saravanan rightly pointed out. We have to incorporate it in everyday's life. Thank you, sir, for that. And we remember the lion laughter and the very important Ramana laughter to suppress, manage the ego laughter, all these, and we will try to incorporate in our routine. Thank you, sir, for your time and sharing this wonderful knowledge. Next speaker. And I have to mention here that together with the laughter therapy, Dr. Surendra Das has rightly pointed out about the crying therapy, which is another new information which has been another eye opener, because we thought that crying is a negative emotion, but it consists of as a added advantage by detoxing, which is so wonderful to hear. Like it has been proven with proper research, which is a very impressive result. Thank you, sir. And our next speaker is Dr. B Ramanadan. and he has mentioned very clearly with the wonderful compilation of different information of work-life balance. As I have earlier mentioned, the world is really chaotic due to the challenges have been posed in the recent years. We know that unexpected changes, economy, health, emotion, and everything. This topic has covered how work-life balance is very important, and it was a little bit disheartening to hear that Singapore stands as a second most stressful country. A lot of imbalances in the work-life balance, and nearly 48 hours of work in a week, and everybody is in low energy and stressful mode, and we have to work on that. And he also mentioned about what are the reasons that causes this bad work-life balance, which we have to attend to. And after identifying the reasons that causes this, like bad boss and your lack of self-care and less relaxation and create recreations and all those points, we have to make a note and adhere in our lifestyle. And especially the with the friends and family, we have to how maintain the relationship. And yeah, these are all important things which we ignore. We think who are all within our reach. We just don't share, don't be very open. Instead, we compress and suppress a lot of the emotions in. And in order to balance our work life, we have to share and recreate. And the tips he has given in a situation to examine the situation, manage the emotions, and definitely take the health, as I mentioned earlier. Learn to say no. That was a important message we have to take away with us, because most of us have been people pleaser. We don't want to say no. So this is a message which affects our work-life balance. We should remember to say no when we really need to say no. Yeah, and plan ourselves very well. So by that way, the work life and the private life, the social life can be rightly planned and handle this situation in this world. And thank you, Dr. Ram, for your time and efforts to share such a beautiful compiled information. Thank you, sir. And I have to definitely thank who have been very patiently listening to these experts, their knowledge and experiences. Thank you for your presence. It meant a lot to us. And thank you, Ms. Vijayalakshmi, for a wonderful MC. You have done a great job and lively MCing. Thank you also. And thank you all once again for these beautiful presentations, and your valuable presence we greatly regard. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tain, and I appreciate your sharing. And one thing that I always admire about you is your ability to capture details. You pay attention and put it in a summary. Very ably done. Thank you so much, and thank you again for all the speakers and Vijayalakshmi for emceeing and Dr. Ram. Right. Probably it will be apt to complete this session with Mr. Ram Kumar. Shall we laugh it off? Shall we laugh and and close the session? Would that be okay?
Yes.
Right. Okay, Mr. Ram Kumar, all yours.
Okay, so we'll do 1 minute of power laughter together, 30 seconds to 1 minute. We'll then close the session. Everybody together, let's laugh. I request all of you to just close your eyes, observe yourself. Can you feel the calmness flowing through you? Take a deep breath and breathe out. Inhale and exhale. That is the positivity which is always within all of us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Right.
I
So
think people just joined. Maybe the time they consider it is 6 o'clock for India time.
yeah, we will post this on this being recorded, so we will post it on YouTube.
Add those things in
You
there.
can always look at the link and join us.